Hey guys, it's Morgan coming back to you with another video about the 2023 300XC. Today we are going to be installing a Tusk radiator fan. The reason we went with the Tusk and not Extreme Parts is that the Tusk is supposed to only draw like 15 watts. So that's really, really low for a fan. Also, it's got the digital temp gauge so we can set the thing where we want it and all that good stuff. So I did take the headlight off, but we'll go grab that headlight, put it back on here, at least, you know, hook it up, and we are going to test officially, not with a little wattage, you know, load tester, real world test. We're gonna run the headlight, get the fan running, and we're gonna see if the battery still charges. Like I said, I know Chris Vessel at Moto Minded, lots of other guys have used, you know, they're legit, right? I mean, I know that they're real tests, but they've used little load testers and all that. But I want to test real world, putting around, real low RPM, and see if the fan and the light can run this setup, right? Which is the S1 Baja Designs light and the Tusk fan, if that can actually run at the same time and not draw the battery down. So this video is going to be about installing, setting up, and then testing. That sounds like fun. Let's do this. All right, guys, let's take a look at the Tusk setup. Obviously, this is from Rocky Mountain. Instructions, fan, bolts, wires, temp gauge, and the little thermostat guy. Let's see what it says. I think it's going to tell us to take the radiator off. The next thing we do is figure out where on here this is going to go. And you can see that there's two holes here. Perfect. All right, now there are lots of, there's this hole, and then there's two holes, and you can mount it up top, down low, but if we go too low, it's gonna bump into this radiator hose, and if you go too high, it bumps in the tank. So we're gonna try it in the middle. There's a chance we'll have to, you know, move this or something, but I think we'll be all right. All right, we've got little torque screws. So as with everything, with multiple bolts, we're gonna get them all started before we tighten them all the way down. All right, so before I mount this, I'm gonna slide it down as far as it can go, because the tank is one of the limiting factors here. So, all right, next we're gonna take our little thermostat gauge or thermo gauge, whatever you want to call it. Take this stuff, what do they call this stuff? Thermal grease. It's just to help it make a good connection. And we just go up here like that. So we'll take some grease, push that in just like that. All right, guys, there we are, all mounted up. Like I said, it's above the radiator hose, but it should be below where the tank comes in here. So we'll find out. It might have to go further down, but I really hope not. Let's take a look, actually. So this is the side. There's the hook for the mount, and it's pretty much level with that. And you can even see it's kind of curved. Let's take a look. I think we're gonna be all right. We're gonna try it at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all the other wiring and stuff ready, because I should be able to just kind of unplug that if I need to take it back off. But I'm not gonna pour all the coolant before I set that on there, but I really think we're gonna be good. You know what, actually, let me just grab the tank. All right, so guys, that bolt right there, I think, is just touching the tank. It probably wouldn't go through because it's probably not touching hard enough, like it didn't move the radiator much, but I'm still gonna take a die grinder. I'm gonna shave a little bit off of that and make that better, but I'll do that later. Now let's get all the wiring set up. So it's set up to go directly to the battery, which I think I am going to do. I was thinking about using the auxiliary plug that was on the True North harness, but that's a switch operated, and I want to be able to turn the light off but leave the fan able to run. So we're going to run these Gonna run this all the way back to the battery, no big deal. One of the reasons I like these anti-gravity batteries is I don't have that little nut to worry about. Like, I can just take the bolt out, put this on, run it back in. I don't have to worry about trying to line that nut up. It's so, so nice. Now we got our temp gauge slash switch. The little metal thing we put in there is the temp sensor. This is the gauge so we can set our temp, how hard, you know, at what temperature we want the fan to come on. I'll show you guys. Right there, should work. I'm going to take this sticker off that's protecting the VIN so I can get down to the bare metal. I think that'll work perfect right there. Well guys, I can't make it work. The error code is still on. I've tried cutting some wires and you know, just wiring it directly, take the plug out of the situation. I've tried yeah, a different sensor that goes in the radiator that I had for a Trail Tech and cut that wire. Anyway, whatever, nothing seems to work. I called Rocky Mountain. They're gonna send me a new unit. It's a bummer, unfortunately. So this video will continue with me installing all this, but as of right now, I gotta stop. So when we come back, we'll have everything new and hopefully be working on getting this thing going. Okay guys, we're back with the Tusk fans, the whole situation. They shipped one right out and it's working. Let me just show you. I just plugged it in to make sure. It's clearly nice and chilly in the shop, 55.9 degrees. So it works. I'm going to remount all this stuff, clean up the wires. I'm not going to show you all that stuff, but I'm going to clean up the wires, get it all nice and happy. We'll get the tank back on it. I got the light off of the other 300. We're going to put that on there. And then we're going to get this thing hot and we're going to find out if it will run it and then still charge the battery with the light and the fan running. Guys, we got her all on there. Got everything all cleaned up. Got our gauge there. Quick just review part of this. Honestly, that's my least favorite part, is how big and kind of goofy looking the gauge is. I really like the controls on it. It is kind of big and ugly, but that's okay. I don't really care. I'm not that guy. Like I don't care about looks that much, but if I had to say a critique, it'd be that. Also, the fact that I had to get a second one. The first one didn't work. We got everything cleaned up underneath there. Fits really good. These wires, I might have to tie those out of the way a little bit better. But what we're going to do is we are going to test this thing. One of the cool things about this Tusk kit is that you can set that temperature gauge and you can set it from like 0 all the way to like 400 and something degrees. So I set it for 100 and something so that we don't have to sit here forever while it warms all the way up. So let's fire this thing up. I think the light's going to come on. Yep. Okay. So light comes on, fire it up, warm it up, and see what happens. Turn the cold start on. All right, I'm gonna put you guys down. We'll check back in as it warms up. All right, guys, fan's running. You see, it's set to 105. It was set to 101 or whatever. I set it real low. Fan is running, I can feel it. Now let's check the voltage. Fan's running. Idling 13. That's all I need to see. That's plenty of juice. Now, I know that, let me shut this off. You can see it's running, light is still on. That's rad. Now, let's see what happens. The light's gonna go off here in a second. Okay, that time's off. So now, the big question is, right, like, how fast is this gonna cool down? Of course, this is a bit of a serious, you know, not serious, this is a bit of a weird situation because I set it so low. But you know what, we'll just let it run while we're talking. So I know all the guys have been doing tests. I know a lot of people are worried. Will it run it? I know it says 15 watts and this says, yes, the Baja Designs S1 light that I got from Moto Minded with the True North Motos wiring harness, and the Tusk radiator fan will run with the bike at an idle. So if you're doing gnarly, hard, technical, hard enduro at night, you'll be good. the bike will still run. I'm gonna let this fan, like I said, run until it cools it down to the 100 and whatever, and then we're gonna find out if it turns on, see if it's killed the battery enough running this long, because this is longer than any bike would have been running a fan like on the side of the trail. Usually they turn off way earlier than that. There we go. Okay, so you guys heard how long that ran. Let's see. There we go. Works good. I like it. Really happy with that. Hope that solves all the questions about that.